Alright, we're slowly getting the rods put on the pistons. We got 4 of them. So I put the arrows on all the pistons just so I don't get mistaken. And then on the rods, see, that's the flat side. See how flat that machine surface is? And see, this side has this large chamfer right here. Make sure that chamfer goes towards the crank on either side, and rod to rod is on this flat surface. So like here's the other flat one on that one. There's the chamfer. So these will ride like this. And the chamfer at the crank allows oil to run in and lubricate your bearings. So you gotta make sure you're paying attention to the orientation on your rods and your pistons in order to get this correct. Slowly getting there. Alright, well, I guess let's do this one in real time. So this is the last one. This is number 8. I got it laying with my arrow pointing forward. I'm going to look down there in the crank, make sure the large taper or bevel goes to the back to the crank. Just want to make sure. You don't have a whole lot of time with this. So let's heat this up. Put it on there. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me over the torch. Let's start up by heating up the very end here where there's that large piece of metal. Just keep moving it around. You'll start to see it turn blue. You just keep moving it around. The bluing will continue down the rod towards the crank end. And once you get the bluing just past where the piston connecting rod goes, or pin, the piston pin, you know that the whole small end of the connecting rod is heated up enough that it'll go on the piston pin. You'll see it starting to turn blue and purple. It'll start to work its way down towards my hand. And notice, you know, I'm not wearing gloves or anything like that. So you can feel the rod to make sure you're not getting it too hot. If you're not familiar, a machine shop can do this for you. And they have a little oven type deal that they put the small end of the connecting rod in, and it heats it up to a dull red color, the same thing as what I'll be doing here. And then they push the piston pin in the exact same way. So this is not changing the structure or anything of the rod or the temper. It's cast iron, so I don't have to worry about any of that. And I don't know how hot MAP gas gets, but I don't believe it's crazy temperature wise. Bluing's about halfway down the rod now. The small circle end of the rod. About to the bottom of the circle. Almost there. This isn't for the faint of heart, because if you put this on there and don't get it correct and get your pin centered in the piston, you can take them to the machine shop. They might be able to press them off without damaging the piston, but it's a 50-50 chance whether the piston can be saved or if it'll be damaged when it's pressed off. Alright, so now I'm going to start looking at my bevel, making sure I have it in the proper orientation, and I'm going to get ready to put it on the piston. I'll actually shut the torch off so it doesn't make as much noise. Maybe. Going the right way. Okay, my bevel needs to go towards the back, towards the crank. Here we go. Slip it in, push it in, get the pin centered, get the piston rod centered in the piston. That's good. I usually squirt a little WD-40 on the wrist pin inside the piston to try to keep the piston somewhat cool, because the pin wants to swell from the temperature of the rod. So then I start working it back and forth, nice and easy. The rod has already attached itself to the pin, so all I'm doing is moving the pin back and forth inside the piston, just to help try to cool it. See there, it's all free now. It's just moving nice and free. It's centered. Very good. That's it. If you see the bluing, we went a little extra long that time because I was trying to turn the torch off for you. See the coloration? Usually I don't get it down that far. It stops right at the bottom of the little end of the rod. So that's it. Number 8. It's the last one. I'm just going to set it in here just to let it cool. Just sit in there, cool on its own. You want to take a look? There they are. 5, 6, 7, 8. All facing the correct way. 1, 2, 3, 4. All facing the correct way. And that's it. Okay, we're gonna end that video right there. I know it's kind of short, but the hour-long videos are an accident, and they don't seem to do as well as a short one. So we're gonna stop right there. I'll do another short video. It'll be setting up the crank bearings and rod bearings, plastic gauging those, getting our tolerances right. See if we got a file. I hope not. Hope the clearances are good. But yep, we'll continue with that. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.